Nicole, when was the last time you actually listened to your gut?
I always do, because nutrition in midlife is so important. And we know that there's a lot of misleading health advice out there. And most of what we're taught about food is wrong. Did you know that Big Food even pays TikTok influencers to say that ultra-processed foods are healthy when they're not?
I actually find that shocking, but it's no wonder that 1 in 8 people globally, that's over 1 billion people, are living with obesity.
So our sponsor Zoe understands that our health is suffering and that it's time we listened to our gut.
They make your gut health their business. And as we've learned in over 5 years of doing podcasts, gut health is key to overall health.
Your Zoe membership starts by testing your gut health, and it's backed by one of the world's largest microbiome databases and most scientifically advanced at-home gut health tests. Zoe gives you proven science whenever you need it.
Listen, we know better than anyone else, being in the self-care space, that the start of every new year is noisy with loads of health advice that's often full of hot air and rubbish. But Zoe is the solution that you can trust.
Zoe is the science and nutrition company leading a movement to transform the health of millions. And Zoe membership has been proven by a randomized controlled trial, giving you the solutions to listen to your gut, make smarter food choices, and change your health for life.
Go to Zoe.com and find out what Zoe membership could do for you. And because you listen to 40ish, you can use the exclusive code 40ish10 to get 10% off membership. As a Zoe member, you'll get an at-home test kit and personalised nutrition programme to help you make smarter food choices that support your gut. That's Zoe.com. Use code 40ish10 at checkout. Trust your gut. Trust Zoe.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, you sold that car yet?
Yeah, sold it to Carvana.
Oh, I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency, no interest, over 36 months? Yeah, no. Carvana gave me an offer in minutes, picked it up, and paid me on the spot. It was so convenient.
Just like that.
Yeah?
No hassle.
None.
That is super convenient.
Sell your car to Carvana and swap hassle for convenience. Pickup fees may apply.
This episode is sponsored by Zoe. It's so embarrassing that I would never have told anyone, but I feel like if I don't share it, it's almost not fair.
We're too deep into this podcast with worrying about what we've shared.
Nicole, that's a nice beaker. That's just like the one that Steve dunks his cock in after we have sex. And now she's probably gone home and been like, there was a weird woman today who held hands with me.
You can't undo it. I'm sorry to tell you.
I know.
You can't undo it.
I'm so aware of that. Yeah, thanks. But thanks for pointing it out.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to 40ish. I'm Nicole Goodman.
And I'm Laura Mishcon.
This is the podcast that navigates challenges and absurdities of 40-something life, and we try and solve all of your dilemmas.
We do attempt to.
We do. We give it our best shot.
Yeah.
Two really middle-aged, really opinionated women.
Every episode, we discuss your problems, your issues, your rants that you have kindly shared with us, and we divulge our own stories about the problems and the mess of navigating midlife.
What's been going on this weekend?
I want to talk about the film Babygirl with you.
The Nicole Kidman show. Film.
Yes.
I don't know much about it.
I found it problematic on many levels.
Okay. What's it about?
Well, the first thing was I thought I was going to see We Live in Time. A friend of mine booked it. We sat in the cinema. We watched the previews. The title sequence came up.
What's We Live in Time?
It's the one about the cancer with Andrew Garfield.
Love Andrew Garfield.
And Florence Pugh.
You had me at Andrew Garfield.
I thought I was going to see that. So then the title comes up, Babygirl 18. And I whisper over to my friend, we're in the wrong cinema. She's like, no, this is what I booked. You misread the text. I was like, oh, we're watching.
Sound like you.
We're watching porn instead of cancer.
Is that what it's about?
It's about Nicole Kidman.
Yep.
She's a CEO, boss bitch.
Yeah.
She's in her 50s.
Oh, yeah.
She has the body of an 18-year-old, and I mean a good 18-year-old. And it's like...
An 18-year-old who works out.
Yeah. and doesn't eat much. And an intern comes into her company. He's young, very young. Like,
Is he hot?
Well, this is the problem.
Oh, he wasn't hot.
This is the problem. Okay.
This is what you want to talk to me about.
Yeah. He's very young, almost the same age, I'd say, as my son.
No, but this is the thing is you have adult sons,
Yeah.
right? So you're not going to find some young, hot intern hot. You're just not, because that could be your
That's
son.
not true. He's played by Harris Dickinson. He's a British actor, but he's playing American. Now, here's the problem, Nicole. Here's the problem. Very first scene of the movie, Nicole Kidman is having sex with her husband, who is Antonio Banderas. Hello, with a beard.
Oh,
Thank you.
as if he couldn't get better, he grows a beard.
Hairy chest.
Oh,
Anyway,
I love a beard.
she pretends she's having a great time, but she's not actually having a great time. And then she goes off into the office, watches some porn, and has a great time on her own afterwards. They've been married for 20 years. And I'm thinking, this is all a bit peculiar. Anyway, this intern walks into the office. They start this like sub-dom affair. She's the sub, he's the dom. He makes her drink milk. That's all very weird because who nowadays is drinking a full glass of lactose? Like,
Was it almond milk?
it was like fucking normal milk, right?
See, that's problematic to begin with, because I reckon now it would be the unsweetened barista, either almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk.
It's not like that. They're in a bar and a glass of milk arrives at the bar
Why has she got to drink milk?
because it's a sub-dom thing. It's like, you do what I say.
Right.
Anyway, he's not really dom enough.
Okay.
Like he asks her to do stuff. And
Is
she's
he-
like,
'cause he's too
and
young?
she's like, no. And he's like, okay, don't do it then. I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
Is that what she that's how it goes?
Yeah. And all the time I'm sitting in the cinema thinking, you've got Antonio Banderas at home
With a beard.
on tap, who's literally pestering her for sex every single night they're in bed. And you are mucking around with this kid who doesn't even really know how
he's
to
doing.
do this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
What a problem. And I said to my friend, I was like, why doesn't she just stick a blindfold on? Because she's got this thing about having her eyes covered and tell him what she likes. They've been married for 20 years. It would just be fine. Anyway, this whole thing plays out and you can imagine it all plays out. And then in the very, very...
No spoilers.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No
that
spoilers.
she could have saved a lot of time, trouble and mess.
Oh, well, you've spoiled it now. We
We leave the cinema. So we leave the cinema,
just
right?
ruined the film for every one of us listening.
We leave the cinema.
Yeah.
And there are these two girls in their early 20s
Yeah.
also leaving the cinema.
Yeah.
And I couldn't help myself. I was
Oh,
like,
God.
excuse me. I was like,
Oh, God.
did you find him hot? Harris Dickinson, is he hot? And they were like, yeah, he's quite hot. I said, okay, I think it's just my age. I said, what about Antonio Banderas? Hot? And they were like, who was he? Who was he? I'm like, the husband. They were like, was he the husband? I was like, yeah, the husband. You know,
He's
the
a really famous actor.
Yeah. And they were like, oh yeah, he was really sweet.
Yeah,
He
but
was
they
so
don't know.
nice.
They don't know.
I said, was he good looking? They just didn't get it. And
Although he wasn't great in Evita.
No. I got in the car.
Other than that, he's great.
I'm telling you now, I got in the car and I felt really 40-ish, like deeply to my soul.
So when you
40-ish.
fancy the husband because he's more age appropriate than the young guy that she's having it off with.
Yeah, the young guy who's doing all the
But they shouldn't
sex
have put,
stuff.
why are they putting Antonio Banderas there? They should have just put someone like less attractive
Totally.
or a bit more bland. Antonio Banderas is Antonio Banderas.
Thank you. So you see my problem.
It's not a problem. It is totally appropriate that you feel that way. And also with the beard.
I know.
Antonio Banderas with a beard. I ain't going anywhere.
I was like, I wouldn't even notice the intern if I've got Antonio Banderas at home. Like, seriously, what's your problem, Nicole Kidman? What is your problem?
Before we dive into your dilemmas, a quick disclaimer. We are not doctors or healthcare professionals. This is a fun space where we share our thoughts. So if there is an issue that you are seriously struggling with, please do contact a qualified expert.
Right. I want to kick off with a question today. For clarity, this question is actually from a popular parenting forum, and it was posted by a woman called Sarah way back in the year 2013. So 12 years ago.
How did you get hold of this?
Well, because I remembered it, because when it happened, it basically crashed the website and it became a national talking point. And it was so long ago that I just feel like the listeners of this show may never have heard it or would have heard it and forgotten it. So I'm bringing it here to discuss. The question that Sarah put on this popular parenting forum was, do you dunk your penis? And this was what she wrote. I considered changing my name for this, but fuck it.
I love her.
We have a dedicated post-sex cleanup area on the bedside table, a box of tissues, a small bin, and a beaker of clean water for temporary cleaning/dunking while the bathroom is occupied by me. Apparently, my friends say that our penis beaker is strange and not the done thing. Does everyone else just lie there in a sticky post-coital glow until morning? Really? Yeah.
The most surprising thing about that
Yeah.
is that she thinks everyone else is weird and that the dunking of the penis in a beaker is normal.
Okay.
Please tell me that's not a thing in your house.
It is not a thing in my house. One. Let me just clarify that from the start.
Should we ask James?
Is that a thing in
James.
is that a thing in your house?
No.
Okay,
It's not even a
good.
thing in my head.
Good. Let's start with that premise. Okay.
I didn't even know this was a thing.
These are some of the questions that this brought up for me, and tell me what you think about this. Number one, is it like because they're British, we're all British, and so we have this psychological association with like tea and biscuit dunking that we do it as a kind of muscle memory thing? So does it feel normal?
Muscle memory.
Because we're into dunking. Is that normal? Secondly, how does he dunk? Does he...
I reckon he stands up.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Because if he doesn't stand up,
Yeah.
he's going to spill.
So you're saying penis to beaker or beaker to penis?
No. He must stand up.
Yep.
Beaker is on the bedside table, and then he must squat down.
Oh, I see.
What did you think?
I was
Oh,
thinking...
he brings the beaker to the...
Yeah, I'm saying
Oh.
beaker to penis or penis to beaker?
I've just
I
I've just flown above myself,
And you're seeing it from above.
seeing the macro vision.
Yeah.
And I don't feel proud. Don't feel proud.
You don't?
No, not of this conversation.
Okay.
But we're in it now.
We're in it now. And thirdly, and possibly...
I've also got a question.
This is, to me, is the most important question. How, in the scheme of like going through life and chatting to your friends, did she come to the conclusion, apparently this is not normal? I'm imagining like she's at her friend's house for a coffee morning and they're all sitting there chatting. And then she says, oh, Nicole, that's a nice beaker. That's just like the one that Steve dunks his cock in after we have sex. And she's like, what? What? What are you talking about? Because otherwise,
I just
how,
can't. I can't.
How does
I
this
can't.
conversation
We've got to stop
happen?
saying the word cock on this podcast. We've got to
Right.
stop now.
Okay, we'll stop. But how does that chat come up?
Okay, I reckon it's more like you're
Yep.
talking about your sex life,
Okay.
because occasionally you do with your girlfriends.
Yeah, right.
And then she probably...
Right, let's play that out. Hey, we had
No, let's not.
sex
Let's not.
last night. Great, good for you.
No, well then she would say, oh, I've got to do it, have I? So then she says, oh, I don't know.
Do you see what I mean? Unless you spot a similar beaker. Also,
No,
Nicole, who's washing that beaker?
No, you're talking about post-coital. I have a question
Yeah.
about the post-coital
Yes.
comment. Sticky? It's not sticky.
Definitely sticky.
It's not sticky all night,
Why?
because it isn't. It isn't.
I'd say it probably is. Fairly sticky. No, I'm not the owner of a penis.
It doesn't...
So I don't know how long it stays. I don't know.
No, but you would know if it was sticky.
saying is, once they've gone to sleep, I've no interest in it after that. Like, whether it is, it isn't. It's not my problem.
You have little interest before they've gone to sleep.
It's not my problem afterwards. It's not my problem. Who's washing the beaker, Nicole?
It was the post-coital sticky mess, she said.
Yeah. Okay, I can't go into this with you.
What then? Now you can't go into it with me. That's rich. Last week we talked about throbbing cocks, which you brought up.
It's messy.
This week you're now talking about dunking penises.
It's
messy. Now she's got a boundary. Now she can't go into it with us.
I don't have a boundary, but I'm just saying it can be messy.
Messy, yes. Sticky, no. It's not sticky.
Do they have a cat?
Sorry?
You know what cats do. If you have a glass of water next to your bed, the cats always come up and drink from your glass of water next to your bed. Do they have a cat? I bet they don't, because if they had a cat, they wouldn't have a penis beaker. It brought up so much for me. Much.
What were the comments? I want to see what people have said.
Oh, I don't know. It went on for years because basically nobody has a penis beaker. But if you're listening to 40ish and you do have a penis beaker, please write to us.
Can I just say, we might not know.
What do you mean?
We might not know. This might be totally normal.
It's not normal.
But it might be.
You
don't know. Because as we just role-played very badly, how would it even come up? So it could be normal. There could be people all around the world that have penis beakers and we don't know anything about it. It could be a whole community.
Also, why
of penis dunkers.
She's in the bathroom doing what she needs to do afterwards. So when she comes out of the bathroom, he could then go to the bathroom. It's not that much of an emergency that you need to dunk it in a beaker, right? It's not a penis emergency, is it?
You know, there are moments, right, when I think about what I do for a living. And I got to tell you, this is one of them.
I'm just putting it out to the 40ish listeners. If you dunk your penis, your partner dunks their penis, or you know anyone who has a penis beaker, please tell us about it, because I am totally invested in the concept. Hello everybody, if you are enjoying this episode, could we please request that you share it with a friend who you think could do with a laugh?
Lauren, you know me, and you know when it comes to answering the listeners' dilemmas and when it comes to food, I always trust my gut. And I also trust Zoe, the leading science and nutrition company.
All the nutritionists that we've spoken to on Self-Care Club have highlighted just how much misleading information is out there when it comes to food. Things like the claims that you see on packaging that say things like low sugar or nothing artificial. These are often assigned to actually avoid these foods. Ever noticed a health claim on fresh fruit?
No, never.
Right, well, you get my point.
So it's completely understandable why there's so much distrust and wondering who you should turn to for accurate information.
Well, it's very simple. It's not a dilemma for us. We use Zoe.
Backed by one of the world's largest microbiome databases and most scientifically advanced at-home gut health tests, Zoe gives you proven science whenever you need it.
Go to Zoe.com and find out what Zoe membership could do for you. And because you listen to 40ish, you can use the exclusive code 40ish10 at checkout to get 10% off membership. As a Zoe member, you'll get an at-home test kit and personalised nutrition program to help you make smarter food choices that support your gut. That's Zoe.com. Use code 40ish10 at checkout. Trust your gut. Trust Zoe.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be.
I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same.
I think you're on mute. Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
I mean, you're very chatty today.
Yeah.
Aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I have.
So you got something else to tell me?
Yeah.
Something else 40-ish that's happened to you? If you say the word cock or penis, I'm going to leave.
Neither of those things are involved.
Or vagina.
No, that's not involved either.
Can we just keep it clean?
It's so PG, but it's so
I just need
embarrassing.
One segment.
It's clean.
That is clean.
It's you. It's universal, suitable for all.
Okay.
But it's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing that I would never have told anyone, but I feel like if I don't share it, it's not it's almost not fair not to share it.
I think we're too deep into this podcast with worrying about what we've shared.
In fact, compared to Penis Beaker, maybe it's okay. It's not okay because it happened to me.
Go on.
It's really embarrassing.
Just come on, spill
okay,
it.
I went to the hygienist. She's a lady hygienist. She's Scottish. She's quite formidable. She's quite scary. It's so embarrassing. Oh my God. So I really don't like going. I'm like so embarrassed.
I can't wait. I'm like on the edge of my seat. I am all ears.
I really don't like.
If I was a cartoon character, big ears would bob up now.
I really don't
light up.
I really don't like going to the hygienist. I actually, the older
I'm not
I get,
surprised.
the more traumatizing I find it. I don't know why, because she's very nice, but she's quite scary. And
Just come on.
Anyway,
Stop it. Get on with it.
She finishes the thing, the clean, and I take off my bib. You know, they always give you the paper bib.
What did you do?
Put your hand out. And she put her hand out. Put your hand out. She put her hand out. And I was like feeling a bit like, off the thing. And
You held her hand.
I held.
And she wanted the bib. Listen, I only held hands with her for about 3 or 4 seconds, but it felt like about 2 minutes. You could never unhold her hand now.
And then she sort of let go of my hand, and I realised, I know this all happened within the space of under 10 seconds, but what happened was we held hands forever. Then she let go of my hand. Then I realised we'd been holding hands, and then I realised she just wanted my bib. She'd put out her hand for the bib.
But she was polite enough to not say, can I have your bib?
And no one wanted to say, why are you holding my hand? You're a grown woman. And I couldn't say, I'm sorry for holding your hand. I didn't realise you wanted my bib. So no one said anything. I just paid and left. And now I don't think I can ever go back.
What did you do with the bib? Did you take it with you in shame? Did you walk out the door with the bib? Please say you did. Please say you did. Did you? Please say you did. Oh, I would have loved a photo of you walking out in the hygienist with the bib still on.
It was really embarrassing.
Did you have the bib? Even if you didn't, just lie and say you did.
I had the bib.
Thank you.
It's making me feel sick.
What she doesn't know, this hygienist, is that you are the last person
who would ever hold anyone's hand. I know.
The last person to show any affection, especially to a stranger.
I know.
It just wouldn't happen.
It was embarrassing. Okay.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It was embarrassing.
Fantastic.
It was embarrassing.
How long have you been going to her?
Years. Years. She cleans the children's teeth. Years. And now she's probably gone home and been like, there was a weird woman today who held hands with me.
can't undo it. I'm sorry to tell you.
I know.
You can't undo
I'm
it.
so aware of that. Yeah, thanks. But thanks for pointing it out. I think you'll have to read the second question because I don't think I can go.
Oh, so funny. Okay. My husband has been a strict vegetarian since he was 11. Recently, he had surgery and has been in a haze of painkillers and bed rest. My mum, being the saint she is, brought over dinner for the family, so I delivered him up a hearty plate of spaghetti bolognese. He gobbled it up with no complaints. Oh dear. It wasn't until later that I checked with mum. Turns out the corn mince was actually a meaty mix of beef and pork. Of course he gobbled it up. It sounds delicious. So the $1 million question. Do I fess up after 30 years of meat-free devotion or let him live in blissful, lentil-loving ignorance?
Say nothing. Say nothing. Never tell him.
He's probably going to say, oh, you know that lovely bolognese
That your mum made?
Can she whip up another batch? Because that was the best bolognese I've ever eaten.
What's her secret?
Yeah.
Dead
Meat.
animals. Never tell him. Never tell him. And also tell your mum to never tell him.
What if he finds out?
How? How will he ever find out?
What if it slips out of her mum's mouth? What if her mum just can't hold the weight of the secret and she says, okay, I have to confess, I have
gave
to tell
you
you.
meat.
Yeah. And then he says to his wife, why didn't you tell me?
Well, then you just go like, oh, Mum, how could you? You know that Steve's been vegetarian since he was 11.
You can't throw your mother under the bus.
I would.
That is disgusting. you can't throw Jackie under the bus.
I'd have to.
Jackie?
If Jackie let it slip, if I said to Jackie outright, Mum, never, ever, ever tell about the meat.
I reckon
and then
your mum could hold a good secret.
My mum would hold it. She'd take it to the grave. Also, my mum would know if my husband of many years was a vegetarian. Like, why is she making a meaty dish to feed the whole family? Maybe she's like, oh, he's too in a painkiller haze.
Maybe she made it for everybody else who actually wants to eat meat. Maybe the vegetarian doesn't need to dictate what the whole family eats.
Well, so she's made a dish for her daughter and the grandchildren, but not the husband who's had an operation. Like, that's not her problem.
Well, it sounds like it.
That's a bit mean.
Is that mean? She's making dinner for the family. I don't think that's mean. I make about 16 dinners a night.
I know you do.
I can't control the frustration with it any longer. Okay, here we are. It's spilling out of me. I just cannot with the meal times and the sittings and the clearing up. And I basically start cooking from like 5:30. And then I don't finish clearing up until about 8:30.
There was an amazing little Instagram video which was called Feeding Kids in the 80s. And it was a grandma, a young grandma, who was feeding the grandchildren of now. So she's like, here's dinner. There's meatloaf, ding. There's squash, ding. And she lifts up these silver things. And here's a big portion of nothing. So you got this, or this.
Yeah.
And one of the girls is like, oh, I was really like craving sushi tonight. And she was like, well, you can have yourself a big nothing roll from this plate. And this other kid's like, I don't like meatloaf. Okay, have the nothing. And then the other kid's like, I'm allergic to squash. She's like, no. We don't do allergies in this household. No one has time for allergies. He's like, I really am allergic. She's like, great, have the nothing then. And I thought, yeah, I get it.
I totally get it.
That was how I was raised.
Also, now what happens is, because I refuse to make a million dishes. So my eldest daughter, she's like, okay, well, I'll just make myself something then.
Okay.
So she does. So she cooks for herself.
But does she clear it up?
Well, she thinks shoving it all in the sink and wiping the top down is clearing it up.
She'll learn when she has her own house.
Well, she'll learn before then, because I'm losing patience with it.
Yeah, I'm not
So
down with that.
So I'm not down with it.
Well, I'm not either. It's eat what I have
So
made.
if there is now a vegetarian in my house as well, it's like, you can forget it.
Well, he's the husband. She did marry a vegetarian. She knew upon marriage he was a meat-free kind of
she
guy.
said since he was 11.
Yeah. I know someone married to a vegetarian. I'd find it very tricky.
I'd find it so boring.
I'd find it tricky, I have to say.
Me too.
Yeah.
So, but maybe the problem is him.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
kidding.
all fine.
Before all the vegetarians come out of the woodwork, obviously I am kidding. I think it's great that he's a vegetarian, and I absolutely respect that. I think there's been, when I've had like very kosher people around, you're not allowed to mix milk and meat for like a couple of hours after. And I think I realised after that in the desserts, I'd put a milky butter in. So they had mixed the milk and meat. And I never said anything. Because it was an accident. Don't tutting. That's not nice.
God still saw though.
God still saw. Anyway, they never found out. Well, they know now. Well, they don't know who it was.
You know, if this guy really didn't enjoy his meaty bolognese, he could always swish his mouth out with the beaker that's on his bedside table.
You just had to go there. Listen, that is, you know what? I'm done now. I'm done with being filthy. Just, it's filthy. Stop it. Stop it. It's filthy. Listen, we are coming back on Monday with a 40-ish unfiltered.
We are,
This is a new show.
Yeah.
You are welcome. I mean, it was a bit silly last week, wasn't it? Very funny.
It's a little chaotic, but that's okay.
We actually had live feedback from one of the men in the studio who told us that
a man walked in and was like, I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
We were like, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's like, it was filthy, but I enjoyed it.
Okay, great. So hopefully you will too. I mean, that's just one person who enjoyed it.
We only need about 1 million more. But we will be back on Monday with a brand new episode, so stay tuned for that. And then we'll be back on Thursday with a new episode of Lots More Dilemmas.
Have a great weekend.
Bye.